Do you enjoy combat or sports in general? Then I think you might like this YouTube channel. If you do enjoy the video, it takes just a second. Hit that subscribe button down below. And if you have any opinions on combat, sports, or otherwise, let me know in the comments section below. It doesn't even matter if it has to do with this video. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into today's video. And finally, we move on to the main event of the evening. An interesting main event, not one that I think I'd ever see main event a fight night card. Dawson is on an 11-fight win streak, basically, fighting out of a top gym in Coconut Creek, Florida, and making his first run at a contendership in the UFC. Probably had his most impressive win in his last win against Damir Ismagulov. But on the other side, you have Bobby Green, 3-4 in his last 7 fights. Basically in this spot because he took out Tony Ferguson in his most recent fight. He's been in the UFC for over 10 years and a fringe top 15 through the entirety of that career. This feels like the UFC giving Bobby Green a little bit of a benefit of the doubt for being such a long-time UFC homer. So we get to see him in the main event. Dawson opened up as an extremely wide favorite, which is what I would expect, minus 380, and continues to move past the 400 mark, the minus 400 mark, to minus 407 on most books. Funny enough, the last time Dawson was this wide of a favorite, he actually drew against Ricky Glenn. Dawson is the elitist of control grapplers, which has seemed to be the best way for him to win fights in recent years of mixed martial arts. But his biggest downside showed in that Glenn fight, which I just mentioned where he drew, was his gas tank, where he started to slowly fade because he wrestles so much. If a fighter stays active on the ground and continues to try to get to his feet where Dawson has to continue to take them down, this depletes his gas tank. This is Dawson's first 5x5 main event fight, so it's a prove-it spot here for Grant Dawson. I'll be interested to see how Bobby Green, after impressive wins in his last fight, how he'll try to stay active on the ground, how he'll try to continue to get up, if he'll have any success there. And maybe in round 4 and 5, this might get interesting. But to be fair, Dawson in his most recent fights looked to have fixed that gas tank issue. The Damir Ismagulov fight, he was controlling him the entire time. Dawson is a dominant grappler. Bobby Green, on the other hand, impressive win again over Tony Ferguson in his recent fight. One thing that's got him probably in this main event slot. But prior, Drew Dober landed a brutal knockout on Bobby Green. Islam fight was on 10 days notice, so I'm going to scratch that one from the record. But if we go even further back, Thiago Moises was able to take Green down relatively easily. He landed at a 66% clip, but he only had 2 serious attempts, and he landed them both pretty easily, in my opinion. Bobby Green was able to get back to his feet, so I'll be interested to see if he can do that against Dawson. But Dawson, a much better wrestler, specifically a wrestler. Jiu-jitsu maybe not, but wrestler, better than Moises, in my opinion. So again, prove-it fight for Dawson. I'm interested to see if Green might have more gas towards the later rounds, but again, your gas tank depletes just as much when you're facing off against a wrestler. This one's a tough spot for me to see Green at any value. We'll see the later numbers. Pick'em Friday will come out. I'm probably going to keep my hands off this one. It's kind of a garbage main event in my opinion as well. So